Hey everybody, welcome this bandwidth studio on the lake, and here's a little prize quick carve video that I did for something that's coming up. Here you go.
Hi everybody, I thought I'd take a quick minute to make this video. Normally every Christmas I do a Christmas challenge for all the beginning wood carvers or pro wood carvers, but this time I haven't had, this year I haven't had time to do it because the renovations at my house and some health issues I was dealing with. But Kevin over there at Sticks and Stones is having a challenge. Kevin is a long-time YouTuber for wood carving. Like has been doing it for many years before me, and
And the guy doing all the work here is Kevin over at Sticks and Stones, Stix and Stones, and you'll like what he's got going on his channel.
Okay, hi everybody. It's Kevin back from Stix and Stones Wood Carving. I wanted to update the challenge a little bit. I know Jordy Johnson over there at Carving Fusion just made a little video and he was explaining the challenge because he's a little down and out this year. So we're taking care of a challenge this year so we can all have a challenge yet in the carving community. So if you came from Jordy's channel and you're new, welcome. I'm Kevin. Nice to see you. I hope you get in on the challenge, and thanks Jordy for sending anybody here who wants to be a part of it. I think it's going to be a fun time. What I want to do is I want to explain a little bit about the challenge a little bit more. If you guys do want to be part of the challenge, again, all you have to do is send a little carving that's Christmas themed. It's got to be a Santa Claus or a snowman or something wintry. It's got to be about Christmas, okay, or winter at least, you know, but Christmas themed. And it could be a chainsaw carving. It could be a little tiny ornament, all right? It could be a snowman. It could be whatever you'd like, all right? What you do have to do is send it to Stixandstonescarving at gmail.com. All right, you do have to submit it.
Okay, so here's the final. I should have took some more pictures of it, but it's a piece of cottonwood bark. It's a sleeping Santa, as if he had a rough night. It started with this big chunk of cottonwood. This came from Jordy Johnson up there in British Columbia. He sent it to me. We do some horse trading. This thing would probably set you back $100 if you try to do it. It's dinosaur bark. As usual, I took the grinder on the floor there that you see sitting underneath the loom that's getting worked on there, and ground off the face of it because it has a kind of like a shale, and these little pieces flake off. This thing's pretty solid. If I'd gone just another 1/16 of an inch, maybe 1/8 of an inch, I'd have got rid of these two pieces of shale that I'm farting around with here. If you look at the end, see there on the grain, that is tight as can be. This is a beautiful piece of, and Jordy has the best description, dinosaur bark. Came from a cottonwood tree, probably 200, 300-year-old tree, grows 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches thick, and then it flakes off, and us carvers like to do various different things out of it, mainly spirit men and little cottages and that sort of thing. It carves a lot like cork, although it's a little denser than cork. The dust is annoying, and I'll talk about the dust in a little bit here. I don't have the dust collector set up in the shop or in the studio since the studio burned, and I will apologize to some of you out there. I've gotten comments in the past when my editing allowed a cigarette pack or a smoking or an ashtray or something sitting there. Even one time you could see the corner of my trash can in the background, and you could see that it had a Marlboro pack in it. And I received several comments, to include ones from people that said, hey, I just can't watch you if you smoke. I'm going to reserve judgment on that. I don't tend to judge people. I mean, if you're a drunk falling down in the middle of the video, I get it. That's probably something. But you guys have the prerogative to watch or not watch. I do not intend to offend anyone. I just don't think I don't tolerate people that comment on stuff like that. If you don't like it, leave it alone. It's not for you. I'm not in your house. That sort of thing. Well, enough said on that. So I apologize again if that offends you or if that triggers something in your psyche that you just can't watch the videos anymore. So I do apologize, and I do try to keep that out of there, and very rarely will you see that in there. This is my first real video kind of back since the stuff that's going on in my world, and I haven't edited a video for probably the last 4 months, so it took a little bit more time. So this is a Kutzall burr in here. I've kind of gone away from Kutzalls. I'm using saber-tooth burrs mainly now. I cut a long cross in there. This is not a very good Santa spirit, wood spirit video for teaching, and I didn't intend to do it that way. I intended to carve it fairly quickly. This is about a 2-hour carve. I did not have a pattern. I had something in my brain. I don't work. The wood doesn't tell me what it wants to be typically. I had a shop many years ago in New York when I was stationed at West Point, and a lot of people had a little carving station set up inside the shop, and people would stop and chat and watch me carve, and they would say, "Does the wood speak to you? Does it tell you what's inside of it? And you need to set it free." I call myself an artist, but I don't subscribe to that sort of thing. There are pieces, of course, walking sticks and that sort of thing. The shape of it, if a cottonwood bark like this has a tendency to tell you, give you kind of an idea. You know, if you watch it, like, hey, this is a whale. Hey, this is a bird, et cetera, and you can get that in there. But by and large, I just take away everything until it turns out to be what I want it to be. I make it into what I want. I guess that's brute force, right? So no deep artistic stuff going on here. He needed big cheeks. Santa's got those big rosy cheeks. I didn't at this point have the intent to carve him with his eyes closed. I was still carving rough shape. I call this blocking. I was blocking out eyes to do normal eyes. And about halfway through this, at some point I realized that, hey, this thing is looking pretty good with kind of a closed eyelid thing going. And it makes sense, you know, Santa flew all over the world, and he has to go somewhere, so why not back into a tree spirit and rest for another year. All right, so I jumped ahead here. You can see some heavy marks on those. Those were done with a 4.5-inch grinder that's laying on the floor just to the left under my foot there. And I removed a ton of wood in a fast type of deal, and then I put some stuff in there. You can see I started to draw this out and put X's on there as if I was telling you exactly what I'm doing on the hat, the little ball on the end of it, and finally I said, enough of that. So this is a round burr on here. Oh, I lied to you. That was a quick cut. Hey, there's a picture of me in case you're wondering. You don't see that very often. I will put me in there more, and again, you see my pocket there. I should be taken out and shot for getting away with that. So back to a Kutzall again, and I'm doing rapid stuff. A lot of this video, almost most of it, is done at 2.5 times the speed. I volunteered. Jordy was talking about it, and he was doing stuff in there. Just Carve Rob. You need to go check out Just Carve Rob. Rob is donating a prize. Jordy's donating a prize. Jordy can't do it this year, so Kevin over at Stix and Stones fostered it, and this kind of a great tradition. I think we'll try to keep this going in the future years because it's fun for all the carving and the carving community. So I said I would turn out something. I needed to get a video posted and get back going on things, and I volunteered, and I said, hey, I'll donate one for this. And my intention was to do a small ornament, and then this piece was sitting there, and I thought, well, let's just go with something a little bit bigger. So lack of planning. I like how this guy turned out. I like it a little bit more each time I look at it. It's a wall. It turned into a wall hanging. You can put it in with your Christmas decorations and then bust it out every year. And hopefully it gives someone some joy or something to look at. So let's talk about this dust. A lot of you are going to comment on the dust. Dust doesn't have it has a tendency not to bother me. I've been carving for 40 years. I am not hacking up a lung. And again, if you look in my pocket there, you can see that I smoke. So you would think that if it's going to bother you, it would. It does not, and we'll talk about that more in a minute. You see that little, I have a ball ruby bit on there, and I'm putting, I don't know, morel mushrooms, for lack of better reference, little divots in this thing. And in those divots will read like a cotton, like you see around Santa's hat. So it goes on the ball at the end there. You see I'm still not completely down to depth, but I'm starting to round things over. Beginning carvers, just a quick shot in here. The tendency is to leave the piece too bulky. And that was for you there, Jordy, that little piece in there, wink, wink. So this ball leaves that little divot in there, and then that divot, when you put the paint on there, it reads kind of like cotton, and that works out pretty good. So there's how he's coming out. At this point, I really didn't like him. I didn't know what to do. I'm going to leave a little bit where my left hand there is of the bark on there, because I want to see that he's in there. And then you see I left the lower right-hand portion with the bark, and he kind of has a, wait for it, this is Jordy, swoop, swish. It has a swoop. It goes around to the left side there. And Jordy, I kid you, man, but I love you, brother. So don't let me poke fun at you. Carry on. So here's a small ruby flame that helps me get in there and get the detail. I've talked about this before. I will turn a piece around and around in my hand. I like the idea. I won't completely finish any one area on this, and that is, of course, your technique. Those of you that are carvers know what I'm talking about. Those of you that are just getting into carving haven't developed a technique yet, but you will find that you'll do things in certain steps. And part of the process of learning is how to get the most out of those steps and carve efficiently. I can tell you honestly, I've carved a piece completely almost, and then it wasn't working, and completely carved it over again on the same piece. So if you got enough wood left over, wood carving is subtractive, and you take it away, but you can't put it back. So you subtract different parts of it. It's a subtractive art. And I lost where I was going with this. But if you have enough wood left over underneath the original carving, you can continue to go. So my first carvings were blocky. They were square. They were fun, and they have a unique character. And then they start to get more in the round. And part of that process is not being afraid to carve deep enough. There are several people out there on the web that can do spirit carvings and teach very well. I'm not primarily a spirit carver. I do some, but I tend to do other things. The spirit people out there, obviously Kevin, who's sponsoring this challenge, he's got some great videos on there. He's a great teacher. Jordy Johnson is doing that. Just Carve Rob's a little closer to me. He does whimsical stuff on the side. Well, he does more whimsical stuff than I do. Occasionally I will get into, if you're familiar with the channel, and that I do some professional carving work, and then I do some screwy stuff. So I am capable of carving with chisels and tools. In the old style in Europe, I could do your cabinet for you with all the pieces if my life was long enough, because it takes a while to carve. In Germany, it's kind of fun. You go, and if you've ever been to Germany and you stop by, you have to stop by Neuschwanstein Castle, which is the model for the Disney castle. And Neuschwanstein, when we were stationed the 12, 14 years in Germany, was the place to visit. Go to the carving room. It took a lot of time to do that. So here's that guy again. They had 20 or 30 wood carvers working in the king's bedroom for about 20 years before they got it done. Here's a blast from the past. There's my favorite handpiece. Rest in peace. It got burned up in the studio fire a couple of years ago. I will be getting the studio built this spring, I promise you. And it'll be some great filming, I hope. So here's a little Santa ornament. This was also, I want to say this is cottonwood bark. I need to see the back of it. I'm trying to remember. Kind of looks like basswood, too. I think this is probably basswood. Yeah, I'm going to go with that, looking at the top of it. But this is just a blast from the past. This video is in there, and he turned out to be just a little Santa. So you can do anything out of this stuff that you want. There are a lot of great carvers doing Christmas tree ornaments, and they cut them and they make them in kind of an icicle-looking shape. So, hey, it's good to be back. This has been Ben with Stu on the Lake. Please like, comment, leave a comment. I love the comments. And by all means, if you haven't, subscribe and go check out all the rest of these guys. Thanks. It's been Ben with Studio on the Lake.